Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ask Jerry Richard Vendor Show. My name is Shamiso Chikarate, I'm your host, and with me is Jerry Nyazongo.
Hi Shami.
How have you been?
I missed you.
Very long time.
Very long time.
How has it been going?
It's fine.
So rumor has it that you were working on a book.
Yeah.
Cells, nonzi, potential title Mjolo, Courtship.
Okay, what happened was I was writing this book. I wrote the first book to about 100 something pages,
yes.
And it's on specializing on cells only. So when I was proofreading it now, to me it was more like Rukubo, like,
right.
And I've read a lot of those cells books from Grant Cardone, Brian Tracy. They're very good, but sometimes you cannot drive.
Yeah, if you
like, you notice most of us, Africa, my target market, what I've noticed is I'm targeting people, even my vendors, young people, people in college. Some of the people, they are first-time readers, so they need a story, like which can keep them captivating. That like they can be glued on them. It's easier for them to really understand kutichicha. So I say to myself, this other day, and I was coming from Zambia, and then I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, fine, but so is equal to Mjolo. I posted that small
Courtship.
That's
finding your bae.
Yeah, that small quote. I'm like, but it's similar. I'm like, okay, fine. When you want to date someone, what do you do? It's just that's the same. Even when you're already in the relationship, like you're supposed to, obviously you need to make sure that the relationship is ongoing, to maintain the relationship.
If you
like
have
ever noticed that when you're in a relationship, when someone fails to contribute into that relationship, automatically that relationship can collapse. Even when people are married. So I said to myself, okay, let me come with a book, Cells is equals to Mjolo, so that everyone can relate. So it's kind of a story. Someone who is an amateur, he spent more time in university, 7-8 years, concentrating on getting a medicine degree. He's now a doctor, but he now needs to settle down. So that's when now is
find a special someone.
Trying to find someone, someone. So that's the story now, and I'm comparing it to what?
To sales.
To sales.
So what you're doing is you're saying that for every step that is there in trying to find your bae, those are the same steps that are also there in trying to, push your products out there and get people to know and want to buy those products.
Exactly. Like for example, if you're selling something, you're selling a product, you're selling a service.
Yeah.
First, you need to do a market strategy whereby you go into the market. Who is going to be the potential customer? Who is going to buy my product? Who is going to buy my service? So also, like when you want to settle down, even you've got your preferred husband. The qualities are there. Maybe you want someone who sings, you want a soccer player, probably you're more interested in actors, probably you want fundis, you want academics. So there's no way you can start fetching. Obviously, you need to spend more time in the universities if you're looking for an academic. So if you are also looking for a soccer player, sometimes you need to go and watch Dynamos Cape United playing. You need to start understanding what is happening in the world of soccer so that you can get that person. So it's the same, even in sales. When I want to sell my book, who is going to be my potential buyer of the chartered vendor book? Obviously, if someone is aspiring to be in business. Number two, there are a lot of kids who are in school, career guidance. How can you build a business from scratch? Number three, there are people who have lost hope and said, no, Zimbabwe has got a better economy, there's a better environment. How can I motivate someone that I was once a vendor? And I've actually achieved a little success. But I was once a vendor. I was once a vendor.
Definition of little.
Yeah, it's a little. So all that now, it sells, and also it's equivalent to Mjolo. So we're on that one. I now have the market. I now know who I want to target. Number two, I need now to have a prospective strategy. How am I going to prospect?
Yes.
So you're going to find that Dr. John is going to social media. You need your good profile.
Dr. John, did you get a haircut?
Yeah, whatever you're now posting on social media. What?
Yes, you're posting that particular person.
Like even me, the way I post on my social media, it's a strategy. Like everything which I post, whether controversial, sometimes I'm like, what am I trying to do? But I know what I'm doing because immediately when I post something, like I think when I post my photo Kudara with my wife, you end up, boom, sales went up. Because why? People are not, what really happened? We need to know more.
To know exactly.
So also, Dr. John, you're going to see the strategy which he'll be using. He'll be quoting a lot of verses on social media. Why? Because he's hunting for a church girl.
Christian wife.
I don't know whether he's making a good decision, because sometimes I've heard that in churches also there are bad girls.
No comment.
So you can comment on that one,
No comment.
What do you think? In churches?
I think that, there's good and bad people everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily in churches, but it's also not necessarily in nightclubs. Like there's good and bad everywhere. So that
usual.
is as far as I will comment about
politician,
that. You never know.
Yeah. So, but and also remember, Dr. John spent 8 years in university, and when you're doing medicine, you don't have time to go out.
Yeah, you don't.
You don't even know what is happening the other side of life. You're just concentrating on your education. So he's an amateur, just like most of the
so he's lacking in a lot of social skills.
He doesn't even know how to approach a lady. You find out that he last dated someone when he was in O-level, and that relationship also, the lady had to come to Dr. John. So it's not like he's the one who
experienced with talking to people and going out there.
So right now he's now trying to do something which is like anyone else. Right now we're trying to recruit salespeople.
Yes.
They've never sold anything. Some of them they are used to sell in a supermarket or in a boutique,
where they don't have to actively try and
where people are coming to them. They're not going out into the market. So he's an amateur. We're going to see a lot of blunders which he's going to make, talking about himself only, without even, like when they went to the golf course.
Yes, there are some guys who just love talking about themselves.
Yeah, just imagine you've got a guy who loves talking about themselves. It's all about themselves. It's all about the money they have. It's all about their family. They'll never ask you, what do you really like, Shami? So that's the whole concept.
Of trying to just, picture how it is in sales. The same way that there are some salespeople that lack any sales skills whatsoever, like the very basic skills of, all right, if I have a customer that walks in, a prospect that walks in, how am I supposed to talk to them to get them tengai this,
not that. You could do that by asking machine quality question, probing. Exactly. Why are you here? What's the problem? How can I help you? The last time when you bought, what did you actually buy? Like for example, when I'm trying to sell a book, have you ever read a book? It's like, because it's all about, I've written this book. Yes, it's called The Chartered Vendor. You should read my book, or because it's an inspiring story. What about if someone is not even a reader? So I'm supposed to convince them to say, no, if you're going to read this book, I tell you, maybe your reading journey started. I've got so many people who have read this book, and it was their first time, including this other India guy called Haj. Shout out to him. He said it is his first book since 1991. Then when he read this book, he started looking for other books, which I quoted in this book. For example, like I quoted Dr. Gono's book, Zimbabwe Casino Economy. He went on to read that. He also read some other books which were written by Grant Cardone. So already he's now a reader. So I'm supposed to know that, Shami, are you a reader?
Are you a reader or
if someone is a reader, sometimes it's easy to sell to a reader than selling to someone who doesn't even believe that reading is essential. So, but you can only do that by asking your customer. So same applies. Ladies are also different.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of them, they don't even like going out. Some of them, they like going out. Some of them, they drink. Some of them, they don't even drink. Whether, yes, you wanted a Christian, but some Christians, they do drink, which is not a problem. So you need now to ask questions so that you can close a deal.
And then now you are qualifying your prospect.
You're qualifying your prospect.
Okay, fine. So, this girl has taken the bait. Dr. John has posted a pretty picture. And the girl's taken the bait. And now when you go on that date, that's when you're now qualifying. Okay, I'm Dr. John, I'm a doctor.
How many times has it happened even to you when you go out with a guy, you're expecting a lot from him. Then when you go out, the story is now. They're actually amateur. They're talking about, people can talk about their family. When my sister was in the UK, the way you went to,
exactly. Like,
really?
We are here to get to try and find out if you and I are compatible. I'm not trying to find out if I'm compatible with your sister. That's not it.
Yeah. So that's the same with Souls.
All right.
You get it. Yeah.
I do get it.
So that's where the story is actually
going with the whole Mjolo and Courtship.
Yeah. Because I want to target those young people.
Yes.
And also old people. I know most of the people I've interviewed a lot of Souls people.
Exactly.
I've interviewed a lot of people. If you ask them if they've ever read any book, normally they are romantic novels.
Yes.
So I said, how can I put this education like Souls and mix it with romance?
And then make that the story.
The story.
All right. Well, we'll be back right after this break, and we'll find out more about how you can turn your courtship into lessons to get you sales. Welcome back to Ask Jerry with Chartered Vendor Show. We were talking about Mjolo, courtship, finding a bae, and how you can turn that to use that and learn how to then find your prospects, find customers, and push your product. So, as we all know, when you're in this dating thing, sometimes you need help and advice from other people. So how then can we relate the fact that, if a guy comes to me and bestie, this is what I've seen. So how then do we use that for sales?
Yeah, like in sales, sometimes you're trying to sell. It's both ways. For example, a customer, when you want to buy something, obviously you're going to say, Jerry, I want to buy a laptop. Do you know anyone, or there's a guy who wants to sell me a laptop. How authentic are they? Can I actually say I can buy from them? So if we do that already, it's asking for advice. Exactly. Like what you're saying, Kuti, it's a lady who is also saying, do you think I should get into that relationship? Exactly. Should I commit or not? So even on the side of a salesperson now, they also need someone who can help them. The biggest problem is the assumption that sales is for everyone, and sales is easy, and everyone who can just talk can sell. That's the biggest problem. People haven't devoted time to learn this skill called sales. Because unfortunately, it's not taught in schools. It's not taught even in universities. Because what I noted is they taught what is called marketing. But although even the marketing is not practical. So, like in any sales, I should learn it from a guru. Someone who has worked like someone who knows what they're doing. More like a mentor. Like I've got a lot of mentors when it comes to sales, but most of them, they are virtual mentors. There are people outside. I've subscribed for their emails. I can call numbers of their offices. Some of them I haven't met them.
So what you're
like
saying is
your
like,
Brian Tracy,
don't be close-minded about
don't be
wanting a physical mentor.
Exactly. Like for example, even when you want to date, you want to marry, like even in our culture, I think way back, murumkoma na ait kana da kurora aenda kumusha. Obvunza kana na sekuru ndawada kurora. Ndinofa kuita sei. Otsonza dewatsvaga mwana wepaningi because pakadai. But you find out these days now, it's now boom, Facebook, DM 3 times, boom, already people are meeting, and next week there's already a
what's wrong with that? Because digital marketing.
Yeah, but now
it's digital marketing.
But yes, you've closed the deal. Good, fast. But when now you go ku Glenview kunogara chimoko manje, wakusvika maraini, unongona munhu esachiteka kutarisa so. Unoona munhu achanyaso kutarisa ti. Right, you get it. Even you as a lady, imagine when you're going to my hood and everyone is looking at, I think I'm skana akashinga. Because why? We don't have time yekudzidzana like what used to happen way back. People date for 2 years, people date for 3 years, people date for 6 months, try to understand each other. Can I be a fit in their family? Because yes, you can be in love with your person, but sometimes they're not going to be a fit in their family. Because in our black culture, when someone
you marry someone, you marry their family.
You marry the whole family.
You marry everyone.
The aunts, the uncles, everyone. So you need time. But nowadays, things are moving like Wi-Fi.
Fast.
So like even right now, even in a cell, if you close a deal on wrong assumptions, like for example, I manipulate you to buy this book. Shabi, you can buy this book. It's 20 years. Please buy.
Yes.
You're going to buy it. Then you read it and you're like,
but this is nothing for me.
This is nothing. You feel like you're cheated. You feel like, I think I wish if I had a buy pizza, because
it would have been better.
It would be better. But if you read this book, then if you see that, no, I think $20 value, this book was supposed to be even $2,000. It means, what do? When you see a friend, please, friend, you should get this book. You should meet Jerry. It's business. It's more business for me.
Exactly.
Because, so our sales people also, they need to know that when they're in sales, they're not there to just for a transaction. They're there for a long-term relationship. Our young girls, our young boys, when they're in Mjolo, they are also in there for a long-term relationship. It's 20 years, 30 years commitment.
Exactly. It's for life.
I heard that divorces have actually, I noticed, I read a newspaper which was saying divorce rate is now at 44.3%.
Okay.
I think what they're saying is if people marry this year, next year already 44% of them have divorced. It's because people are marrying each other for wrong reasons.
And in that same manner, it means that when you're doing your sales, if you don't do your research properly and you don't, meet the needs of the customer, you're going to increase the rate of your returns.
Exactly. The returns or disappointments. Sometimes, yes, you can give that customer a product. Returns are better because a customer who complains is better than someone who just walks away and finds a solution for himself. So you need someone who's complaining. That is actually better because you can solve and make an impression.
Yes,
but
and
if
now
someone
you can upgrade your product so that the next people don't face the same problem.
Exactly. But just imagine you're selling clothes. People are buying, but they're saying, no, I'll never come back to this shop. You're selling clothes, you're selling to the next customer. They're saying, no, I'll never. They'll buy once, they'll never come back. They are complaining, they're busy shouting at you. So what it means now, you no longer have a relationship, of which businesses are built with the relationships. Like to be where we are, even us, is because of the relationships. Some of them which have formulated 2015, 2012.
Yes.
Some of them even when I was still a vendor. Because when I wrote this book, I started having my friends who I think I've met my fellow vendors who are now supporting me, who are also doing well in business. So it's a you need to have a good and a long-term relationship.
Yes, we just need to remember that the difference between a contract and a contact is an R.
It is a relationship. Right?
We said that in some of our very first videos, so we will always repeat that.
She's not a sales guru. Eh?
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, sales is quite a lot to learn. Like in life, just basically in life, you need to have sales skills. Whether you are a salesperson, whether you are a CEO, you're a housewife, whoever you are, you need to have those, sales skills because they are useful in all aspects of your life, as is evidenced by how Dr. John is learning how to find a wife through the use of some sales skills.
Yeah, you're right. Because even when you're married, even when you want to convince your kid, like I think before we shot this video, I had my daughter and she was saying, now today they're going together. And I'm like, I didn't say no. I just said, don't worry, we'll go next week. But today, you can just take this milkshake. Then I'm done. I've closed the deal. Is
that closing a deal? That's bribe. I feel like that's a bribe.
No, that's closing a deal. That's closing a deal. Yeah, maybe it's bribery, but that's what you need in sales. So sales now, you apply your selling skills every day. So if it was me,
yes,
I was going to say our ECD, early child development, those kids must learn sales.
Okay.
Because if you learn sales, even when in interviews, you know what to say.
Exactly.
I always tell these young people to say, no, when I'm saying, tell me about yourself. Or why are you here for the interview? I don't want to hear about you. Like, I think I was interviewing these other young ladies and they're like, I'm Sharon, I'm single. I don't care about that.
Yeah, well, we've seen your CV, Sharon. We know where you live and where you've gone to school.
Yeah, and I don't care about that. What I care about, imagine if you're going to say to your employer,
yes,
I'm here, I know the problems which you're facing, which is low income or low revenue.
Yes.
So this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to increase the revenue by 50%. I'll be accountable, and I'm the person you're actually looking for to increase the revenue. That person is going to be hired instantly. And I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to spend more hours in order for me to hit my sales goals.
Okay.
You see, that person is going to be, or I've researched your products. You guys you do consultants, you do this,
yes.
and most of some of your customers are A, B, C, D. Then I was interviewing someone just today, and he was saying, I'm here for an interview at M&G. And it's M&G.
Yeah.
Like, how can I hire you?
And it's everywhere. That is M&G.
You see,
like
because,
even the website.
Because you're selfish. When you were racing for the interview, you only thought about yourself. Like most of the salespeople, they only think about their product. They don't think about the customer who wants to buy the product.
So when you're going into your interview, you are the product.
You are the product.
The interviewers are your customers.
Are your
And
customers.
your prospects. So
and you need to convince
them they need you.
They need you. And you need to sell yourself to them.
And the only way you can do that is if you have mastered sales skills.
Exactly.
This is why I always say you should, anytime that there is a sales training, a sales seminar by Jerry, you should totally attend. It is worth the money, because it's not just for you to sell products. It is for anything that you need in life. If you want to close a deal, if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy vegetables, you need sales skills for everything.
Like this other lady who asked me, and she was saying, how can I get into, I've noticed that you can access any office. To the point that she said, I think you're more connected. Then I'm like, no, it's because I know how to sell my brand. When I want to target a certain office, I know what to do. I know how to push my brand out there. And sometimes people, they think that, no, I've got a certain privilege which I'm getting, but no, it's because I've mastered this art of selling to the extent that if I want to sell something, I know how to do it. This other day I said to my kids, you guys are failing to push the book. I thought it was on Friday. Then I sold 8 books in a day. But them, they were struggling to sell 2, they were struggling to sell 3. Like, no, when you get to a customer, you need to understand more about them.
First.
Like if someone is going to say, no, my sales are low, there's a chapter of sales in the Chartered Vendor.
In the book, yes.
Like someone is saying, no, I think I've got a problem with my people. There's a chapter of building the team. So it's about, imagine I've asked you, are your sales high? Are your sales low? No, my sales are low, and my team, I've got HR problems.
They're not working well.
So no, you can get this book. It's a manual. It's going to help you how I've managed to solve some of the problems.
And it's got practical examples of how it was done
and it's
in the
easy
same
now.
economy.
And it's easy now to close a deal because already I've identified the problem.
Your problem,
like,
and I'm giving you an answer.
Like even for Dr. John, even for our Dr. John, when you get to a doctor, when you're sick, imagine a doctor who is going to say, I'll give you the tablets. A doctor is supposed to ask you questions and solve the problem.
First find out, like, what is wrong with you? What are you feeling? How long have you been feeling like this?
Yeah.
In that same manner, when you are trying to sell a product, you go to your customer and now you're asking them, okay, what exactly is the problem? Which are your pain points? What do you want to change? Where do you want to go? And then you package your product.
What's your vision?
In that manner.
Exactly.
All right, thank you very much for having us today. We hope to see you again next time. Please like, subscribe, and share, and don't forget to buy the book. And also keep an eye out for the new book, Selling Equals Mjolo.